Hi, this is Richard Fields with this week's Report from the Fields. Governments are made up of people. Sometimes the people who run the government are well-intentioned, hoping to be of useful service to their fellow citizens. But sometimes the people who gravitate toward government, both in elected and appointed positions, are doing so for their own benefit. Being able to legally exercise power over other people, or they come to do good and do very, very well through the myriad opportunities for graft, corruption, and secure, well paying political patronage jobs. With that in mind, let's look at some of President elect Trump's proposed appointments. Keep in mind that Trump is an empty vessel concerning ideology. His lust for power appears to be motivated mostly by ego gratification for being able to win the office, and given the vicious campaigns run against him, a desire for revenge. His attention seems to be divided between big government, ultra-conservative hardliners, and quasi-libertarians. On the hardliner side are nominees for Secretary of State, Marco Rubio, Secretary of Homeland Security, Kristi Noem, Secretary of Commerce, Howard Lutnick. Borders are Tom Homan and Deputy Chief of Staff Stephen Miller. On the quasi-libertarian side are Elon Musk and Vivek Ramaswamy, who've been tapped to run an unofficial Department of Government Efficiency, or DOGE. They claim they will be able to cut upwards of $2 million annually in federal spending. Good luck with that, considering that they are planning to cut almost 1/3 of federal spending without touching Social Security, Medicare, defense, or interest on the debt, which altogether make up 2/3 of spending. Why? Because Trump took all of those programs off the table. They'll have to cut almost everything else. As Director of National Intelligence, Tulsi Gabbard would run all 18 of the intelligence agencies, from the CIA to the TSA, which allegedly put her and her husband on a Quiet Skies terrorist watch list shortly after she switched parties from Democratic to Republican and endorsed Trump. She has a long record in Congress of being critical of Obama's foreign policy interventionism. She had the temerity to have a conversation with one of our supposed enemies, the president of Syria, rather than advocating for knee-jerk militarism towards him. She also had the nerve to actually agree with Putin when Putin made true statements. As a lieutenant colonel in the Army National Guard with 2 tours of duty in the Middle East, she's not an armchair general like most supporters of the military-industrial complex. She will be uniquely qualified and in a position to get to the bottom of why dozens of spooks lied about the Hunter Biden laptop being Russian disinformation, when it absolutely was not. Heads could roll. Other unconventional picks, like Linda McMahon of Education, Matt Gaetz as Attorney General, Pete Hegseth at Defense, Robert F. Kennedy Jr. and Mehmet Oz at HHS, and Lee Zeldin at EPA could make for some paring back of the deep state. Then, of course, there is the issue of confirmations. That'll be a circus, or not if Trump resorts to recess appointments. Time to get out the popcorn. This is Richard Fields with this week's Report from the Fields. See you again next week.